In this video, I decided to go rallying rather than racing in Daily Race A. In Daily Race B, I decided to crash rather than race for unknown reasons. Daily Race C, why race on the track when you can race in the pits? Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2025, week 26. We're halfway through the year and my word, we've got an interesting one this week. First of all, we're in the Chevrolet Corvette C1 that you can see in the background. And as somebody said in the lobby, crazy taxi. That's exactly what it feels like. Now, we're doing 4 laps here at Goodwood Motor Circuit. It's a grid start and don't have to worry about the full start check. Sports hard tyres, tyres 1 fuel and tyre wear. Now, this car is very boaty, so you might not like this race. And if you don't like this race, there are some timestamps there to jump to Daily Race B or Race C, respectively. Now, in terms of the key statistics for this one, we've only used this track 3 times in the entirety of daily racing on Gran Turismo 7. Now, it's 49th overall in terms of that. Last used on the 24th of June, so it's a year today, basically, or year tomorrow. And in terms of issues of extreme weight transfer, I said it last week, it's even worse this week. And it's very hard to overtake here, actually, in this car. Without further ado then, let's jump into this race and let's have a look at exactly what happens as I go on a bit of an adventure. Here we are then at the start of this one. German Kiwi on pole position. We're starting all the way down in P7, apparently. We're in that pale yellow and there's a few colours to choose from with this car. Now, put traction control on 1. Do you need it? The answer is no, you do not need traction control, so just leave it off here. And yes, horns are enabled, and it's very annoying. Now, you may notice here, that's about a new wheel to you hawk-eyed viewers out there, eagle-eyed viewers, however you want to call it. Yes, I'm on a brand new wheel, so I'm going to be a bit more iffy this week, let's put it that way. Now, going through turn 1, absolutely not a problem here. You see how boaty those cars already with the bouncing. Max power then going towards the inside in that red Chevrolet. And as we go through this right-hander, I look to give space to understeer a little bit, and I clip the grass there, slight tail max power, but I'm off on an adventure here. Look at this, it's like the Hobbit all over again. Right, and we get reset, fortunately, because it would have taken about 3 years to get back to the circuit. Now, there's a yellow flag up ahead, which does mean somebody crashed from that. That's Mario Sonic. Apologies to Mario Sonic there. You can see I was sort of like slowing down for him, and then I just went completely wide here, so I'm completely off again. I've got another yellow flag then up ahead. There's been another incident here, and that's Simon and that's Max Power that have both gone off as well. So, yeah, pretty carnagey first lap, and it might be due to me, but we'll check out in the bloopers just to make sure whether it was or wasn't me, or whether I should have waited up for those two as well. So look on the inside of Mario Sonic, then we still have a race here to actually have with the crazy taxi up ahead. Brilliant livery on this car, it really is. As we go through here, you can see how just lifting off and the weight shifting from side to side really has an impact on this car. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here towards this right-hander, go over the curb, then we're going to break in a straight line down to third gear, over towards the left-hand side we go. Mario Sonic up ahead, look at that, loses the rear a little bit, manages to catch it though, brilliant catch there from Mario Sonic. And that crane on the right side, remember that crane in the race, it's a brilliant brake marker for this corner, otherwise the brake marker for this corner in time trial, a little bit iffy. We'll get to that lap in just a second. However, let's fast forward down this straight then as we head towards the end of lap number 2 here. We are catching up to Sparksphere here, who's also had an issue at some point in this race. Oh, Mario Sonic into the barrier there. And we had nowhere to go as we go through there. I think that's all fair in my books because Mario Sonic completely hit the barrier there. And that is a very common thing to do, actually, at that chicane. Lap number 3 then, we're up into P8 here. We did start in P7, so we finished in P7. I actually would take that, bearing in mind I did like head far into Narnia on the right hand side here at Goodwood. So we get towards the end of the lap here then. Sparksphere going through there, goes a bit slower, make sure they get through here. We're right behind them then as we head on to the final lap here. We get over towards the left hand side here, and it's gear change war then, and we rev it out there, but you don't actually rev this car, interestingly, and I'll get onto that in the lap guide. In towards turn 1, we go side by side. Very scary to do here. We stay in 4th gear, but we managed to make it work there. So we went around the outside as Sparks Fury. We're going to fast forward a little bit more here because this race isn't all said and done right now, because behind me, Mario Sonic is actually on a mission and a half. Look at the speed carried through that left-hander by the crazy taxi there as we head towards this right-hander, hard on the brakes then. And Mario Sonic is very much looking very racy here as we go through the right-hander. As we continue on out. Now, I did apologise for that lap 1 incident. Of course, it is on me and the fact that I started it. Whether I touched the grass or not, I have no idea. We'll check that in the bloopers, of course. But obviously, I was the first car to lose it, so there we have it. Now, Marisonic's got on the inside here. Brilliant stuff. So this is before I knew how to actually use this car properly, which I learned afterwards. So we're going to head in towards the final couple of corners here, side by side then. Brilliant racing as we go through here. Marisonic gets the job done there. Very nice move indeed as we head towards the chicane then. I'm going to back out of this a bit earlier then to hopefully get a run on the exit. Not quite. Marisonic nails that beautifully. We're going to head towards the line then. And it looks like Max Power getting all sorts of sideways in that rear view mirror. So this race is not a race I'm going to do again personally. The car is way too weight transfery, boaty for me. It was an alright race, to be honest. You can't really race though side by side. 4.5 out of 8. All the details for the scoring system is down below in the comment section. In a pinned comment, unless you're here really early, then it's not quite there yet. Now we jump to the lap guide here, brought to you by Coach Dave Academy and the Delta app here. And as we head towards turn number 1, on the left-hand side, we have the Marshall box and the 50 board. The Marshall box is your let-off marker, and the 50 board is essentially your turn-in marker, but you turn in just before you get to this, okay? So watch what I do right now. I'm going to lift off and I'll turn in and I'll dab the brakes a little bit here to slow it down. The dabbing the brakes is very well worthwhile doing. Now, you can do it without dabbing the brakes, but it's slower on the exit. The dabbing the brakes just allows the car to go through it. Now, when you do touch the brakes in this car, it gets very sketchy. It also gets sketchy on this little bump here, but I managed to straighten up just in time as we head towards this next right-hander. So this is where the car goes absolutely insane. So the marsh box on the left-hand side is your first brake marker. Now, you want to brake, but hopefully not lose the rear end too much. That's the critical part of this. You need to keep the car going in a straight line, because the second you get oversteer is the second this car just spears out. Notice that I'm hardly braking at all as we go through this. Back on the throttle, and on the right-hand side, we have this left arrow or the end of the tarmac, whichever you want to use there on that right-hand side. This is your brake marker for the left-hander. You're going to drop to third gear, which in turn is going to cause the rear of the car to oversteer a little bit. So if you can control this, this is absolutely fantastic. You normally get on throttle and you should be fine here. So as I go through there, just instantly on throttle, trying to get it round. A little lift is possible here to avoid that. When you're on the grass, do be careful though. It does spear the car off. Now, this brake marker right here, you're probably going, Tidge, you are a moron. Trust me, when you are racing, it's very much more obvious in the qualifying laps. There's 2 white markers. This is the second white marker. As that leaves the screen is when I'm going to hit the brakes. You can clearly see it here on chase cam. Remember when I said in the race about the crane? The crane is also a good marker in the race. So I'm in third gear right now. Now, in terms of shifting this car, you want to shift just as the red bar comes on your screen there. And then I go to 4th gear. So that just means the car can keep pulling this old American engine. Very good, apparently, at low pulls. So we head towards the penultimate corner here. Left-hand side is an escape road. And the end of that escape road is your brake marker. I want you to change down to third at the very last second. Do not go down a gear too early here. So I'm going to go hard on the brakes. That's going to force the car to get a bit wiggly with the weight transfer. And I'm only going to go down to third gear when I get to the corner, as we do there. Notice then it rotates. And then get on throttle, and I'm absolutely fine. A bit on the grass here. I need to get off it very quickly. And for the final brake marker, on the left-hand side, we have a Marshall box. For the chicane, this car is not as wide as you think it is. So just make sure you don't turn in too early for the first part. So you're going to hit the brakes, turn in, you're going to dab the brakes in the middle of the chicane, and then go out the corner. That's the plan here at least. So as I go into here, dab the brakes. I actually clipped the barrier on the right-hand side there, but fortunately it didn't cost me too much time. I'm going to head towards the line then, and you can follow this lap on the leaderboard. It's a 1:25.348, and the Delta lap is also down below in a pinned comment. It's also in the description as well if you want to check that out. And you can check that out for free, of course. So we're at a daily race B now. Trail Mountain in reverse in Group 4. And we're doing 4 laps here. It's a rolling start on racing hard tyres. The Genesis G70, one of the best cars in Group 4 right now. And that is the car I have chosen, which you can see in the background. And what many have chosen for this one as well. In terms of key statistics here at Trial Mountain, we've used this track 4 times. And track and car combo only 3 times. So we mainly use Group 4 reverse for this one. It's not a top 10 used combo. We last used it on the 7th of October. In terms of issues, the last corner exit can get really messy really fast. And the turn 1 chicane, it's a heavy braking zone there. Lots of moves to happen. Lots of dives as well. And plenty of ways to take that corner. Without further ado then, let's jump into this one and let's have a look exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start of the second race. We've got P1R Petrol on pole position. We're starting in P12. And if you are enjoying this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. If you're wondering about the numbers above the tyres, check out the description. There's an FAQ there. We'll explain all for you. Now, let's look at this race. We head towards turn 1. A couple people weaving there to get some heat into the tyres, which is what those numbers are. So as we go through here, there's a little contact there between me and Ugandan. I think the server's having a bit of issues here, to be honest, on this race. There's a few times you're going to see this on this race where there's a bit of lag there, but nothing major. We'll continue on out of there. We have a bit of damage, but Ugandan Commando remains in place there as we head towards this next right-hander. Hard on the brakes here. Had to defend a little bit from max power behind us. We continue on through here. Make sure we don't go off. We don't. And we are lined astern now as we head towards that. Oh, hello. Some smoke up ahead. No idea what's going on there. Ugandan looking opportunistic there. Down the inside. A blue racer. Is it going to work? Not quite there. Bit of contact with the wall as we head down this hill then towards Banky Boy here at Trial Mountain, or the Trial Mountain variant. There as we go into this right-hander. We're on the inside of Blue Racer and Ugandan right now. We just skimmed the wall there, I would say. And we just get ahead of Ugandan there. So we do gain a place, all said and done here. Right behind Blue Racer now, who we give a bit of a bump draft as we head along this long straight. And arguably to one of the hardest corners in Gran Turismo 7 this next corner. At least to get right, that is. So we're going to head down here then, side-by-side action up ahead. We're going to join in that action here as we look for our brake marker, which I'll explain in a lap guide. Hard on the brakes, and Ugandan there, getting it slightly wrong. Takes avoiding action there. Beautiful sportsmanship from the Brit there behind, who actually does lose out because of that as we head into the left-hander. Still side-by-side with Blue Racer here. Brilliant stuff then. Very brisk up ahead. Trying to race the Italian as well as we go into this left-hander. I'm going to try around the outside right now. Is this going to work? Is the question. We accelerate out of here. Still side-by-side. Absolutely fantastic stuff as we go into this right-hander, though. Unfortunately, I just clipped very brisket there. Completely on me, that one. I take that slightly differently to everybody else, apparently, because I really just dab the brakes and chuck it in and let the car do its talking. But that is on me, completely on me. I was the car behind. So I'm going to have to rework at the Blue Racer one. And as we go through this right-hander, we've got Vilassa behind us now. Vilassa chose a different car to the Genesis. Chose the Atenza, which seems very quick in a straight line. Actually has the Tucker Ford Mondeo livery on, which is absolutely brilliant stuff here as we head in towards turn 1. 3 wide right now. Look at this. This is insane stuff. I did not notice that at the time of racing. I thought we were only 2 wide. Now Blue Racer goes for the cutback there. And they need to take out Blue Racer with that move. Do be careful of doing that on that corner because it's very much a 90-degree corner as we go into this left-hander. But we survived this. Everyone is surviving right now. We're still all in this train of cars. Oh, barrier hit up ahead. Not sure who that involved. Like the Italian, maybe it did kiss the barrier there as we head towards the right-hander once again for the second time of asking. There's the big rock. That's our accelerating marker. And slight tap on Blue Racer. But I think Blue Racer may have had more room on the left-hand side. But again, all good. We're still surviving here. Blue Racer's got a bit of a run there on the Italian right now. So if everyone's wondering, by the way, we normally do daily race C, then B, then A. Most people who did daily race C, who are going to see in the next race, had about 30 seconds to jump into this race. So there's going to be a bit more rusty driving. I highly recommend you don't do this if you're not used to racing on Gran Turismo 7, of course. So you're watching me now with about 30 seconds of practice as we go through here. But hey, we're racing well here at the moment. The Italian on the middle of the road there as we go through this left-hander. And we do make it through there. There was a Genesis-sized gap. I took it. We're up into P8 now. And we've got Never Quit 69 up ahead. The Scottish driver. We've got I'm Very Big Boss as well. Sparks Fury is in there. I know Sparks Fury was from Daily Race C. But we get onto the start-finish straight here. Start lap number 3. And we've got the Slipstream and Never Quit, who's got I'm Very Big Boss's Slipstream. So we're going to go down the inside. We're going to make it 3 wide into this corner. Hard on the brakes. I do have a brake mark for this corner, by the way. And it works every single time. As we see right there, a 2-for-1 move. I love those kind of moves. And we are now up into P6. The French driver with a penalty. So we'll overtake them nice and easy here. They're in the Atenza as well. Interesting to see. But we are now up into P5 with Sparks Fury up ahead. Then we enter the final lap here. What can we do versus Sparks Fury is the question. Sparks goes toward the left-hand side. We go on the right then. Hard on the brakes as we go in towards turn number 1. Round the outside. Look at this for a move. I mean, I love this corner for overtakes, but it can be quite complex of a couple of corners. So we do make it out of there. Sparks Fury with a better run out of that corner. Does give them the run and the inside line then for this next right-hander here. But I'm going to try and outbrake them as we go into here because a wide line actually works for this corner very nicely indeed. And I'll talk about that on the lap guide when we get to it. Tying up to the left end, we have maintained position right now. We're P4 on lap 4, the final lap of 4 laps. All the 4s here as we go through the right-hander. We head onto this straight. And notice there, I take a defensive line, then back to the racing line. I can't defend this move anymore. I've already done my one move here. And you can see Sparks Fury going for that move on the inside. I actually grazed the wall there. So what I want to do here is go for the cutback. That was my plan as I go through here. Very hard to nail this right here. Sparks Fury's nailed it perfectly. As we go to this left-hander, trying around the outside right now. I'm not sure what happened to Sparks Fury here, but Sparks stays far left left there, and I get sort of an easy position there. But we do finish the race then in P4. Not quite on the podium, but even so, 30 seconds of practice. I'll take it. A 6.5 out of 8. For me, this is a bit better race than Daily Race A. Nice to do the reverse of Trail Mountain, to be fair. I do like this circuit. It does bring me Gran Turismo 1 nostalgia, because I think the American Championship was here. So we're going to head towards turn number 1 here. And on the left-hand side, we have the Marshall there. That is our brake marker for turn 1, or arguably our notice, because the shadow is actually a very good brake marker for turn 1, if you could be the last of the late breakers. This lap once again brought to you by Coach Dave and Coach Dave Delta app, so make sure you do check that out down in the description. As we go to turn 1 now, second gear, really cut on the left-hand side, and on the right there, we have a pickup truck. So that is our brake marker as it leaves the screen on the right-hand side. We want to be as far left possible so we get a good run on the right. So a bit like what Sparks Fury did in the race on the final lap. Gets a brilliant run out of this corner because he's further to the left-hand side. So as we go through here in second gear, we're going to accelerate out, straighten up as quick as you can to avoid that wheel spin. All-wheel drive car still means the fronts will spin up a little bit. We head to the top of the hill then, and now we got this tree on the left-hand side. It's a really good brake marker. These cars are carrying less power than normal now. So that tree, I know it's late, but it's a really good brake marker. You brake just before you get to it on the left-hand side. Now, don't turn in too early for this corner. You'll understeer off. Stay out wide and go for a very late apex, and that gives you a good run up the hill then. This hill can cost you quite a lot of time if you do not carry the speed. As we head towards this left-hander, we have a big rock on the left-hand side. That is our brake marker for this left-hander. But I actually want you to brake after it's left the screen, okay? So that is what we're going to do right now. We're going to stay towards the right side, brake after, and then turn in late. The later you turn, the less likely you're going to hit the exit, because the exit narrows, remember. The way this track is built, it's meant the other direction. You see how it narrows there? You clip that wall, you're going to lose so much time. We head down the hill then, head over towards the left-hand side here, and we've got these sponsors, okay? So we've got the Gran Turismo logo. We did have a plain one, and it goes to Texaco. The plain one is our brake marker. Or arguably, you could just say between the black and the white sponsors there. You can do that if it's much easier for you. Anyway, we're going to hit the brakes here. Now, you don't want to turn in too early, but you don't want to turn in too late either. I know it's pretty annoying to say that, but you want to keep a nice tight line here, because what you want is to accelerate before you get to that rock. Now, if you accelerate at it, you're definitely going to make it round this corner. If you accelerate before it, it might understeer off, but otherwise you are going to carry so much speed. And carrying the speed is critical here, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. So we get out there very nicely. We're going to go down the straight now, through the tunnels, and let me tell you about this brake marker. So I'm well in advance of the braking zone here. On the right side, we have the little pillar there holding the tunnel, and then we have the electric box. That is our moment there to say we're going to brake in a minute. The next pillar along is our brake marker. So if you brake in the middle of these two, you're absolutely fine. So we brake at the next pillar, we drop to third gear, we chuck it in, we keep a very tight line here, because that means we should have the best line to get over towards the right hand side very quickly for this next corner. Nailing that last corner is so hard to do. So if you don't get it right, don't worry too much about it, just practice. We have these rocks on the right-hand side. The big rock before a piece of grass, before the next big rock, that is your brake marker. You're going to dab the brakes and just turn the car in. Let the weight transfer of the car get the car turned in. Then you can accelerate through. Once again, it narrows there, so just be careful of that. We then have a big rock on the right-hand side, very much towards ground level here. You need to brake before you get to that. You're going to drop to second gear, and you want to turn in a bit earlier than you think. If you turn in marginally too late for this corner, you're going to run well wide and lose so much speed because of the way this corner is. You have to turn in early. Now, notice there, I turned in a bit too late. Look at all that speed I lost. I lost over 2 tenths there, in my opinion, and especially chasing this ghost, I definitely could see it. So as we got up here, up the hill, we've gone to third gear. On the left-hand side, we have 2 electrical boxes there. Basically, it's the start of the tunnel. I want you to dab the brakes and let the car turn in. Now, for you bumper cam viewers, or users, should I say, this is going to get very interesting. So as the tunnel disappears on your rear view, you can start to accelerate. If you've not got this camera, unfortunately, there is no marker that I can see right now, and you're just going to have to play it by ear and judgment. Through the right we go, then it's all flat out. Now turn in before you get to the crest of the hill, over towards the left-hand side. Then turn in before you get to the bottom of the hill on the right, and you should be absolutely fine making it towards the line. Just be careful cutting the inside corner there of the last corner. That'll be very annoying on a very good lap. We head to Daily Race C then, where we're at Fuji in Group 3 machinery, and I chose that Ferrari 458 right there. We're doing 15 laps here, so it's a long race to be fair. Rolling start, race is soft and medium tyres. Both are required. ×2 fuel, ×5 tyre wear, and you can, of course, adjust the brake balance. So that is a long race, which is why we only have like 30 seconds to get into Daily Race B. In terms of the key statistics here, we've used this track 15 times. It's the 5th most used track. Track and car combo 5 times. It's not in the top 10 used combo, believe it or not. And we last used this track on the 5th of May, so we've used it very recently. The pit lane entry can be a bit dangerous, and tyre wear is extreme here. So 1 extra lap staying out on the mediums may be beneficial, and we will see how beneficial in this race. Let's jump into it now and let's have a look exactly what happens. Here we are then for the final race. We're starting P12. Quite a few Ferraris on here. I was surprised to see the Ferrari. It was one of the most competitive cars at this race, to be honest with you, but here we are. Go enjoying this video. As always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, let's get involved in this race. Ugandan already having a run there at the Lamborghini in the AMG GT3 car as we go through turn 1. Now, that AMG GT3 car was very strong here last time at Fuji on the racing medium tyres. Anyway, we head towards the chicane. Not much has happened since, except we have a spinning Sheltie up ahead, who's currently ghosted. So I get a bit cheeky, if I do say so myself, and decide to go through Sheltie rather than round him as we head towards this right-hander. And we'll look at what happened to Sheltie, by the way, in the bloopers, which is also timestamped down below. So we get on the inside of Grove Street Racer there, who I believe is actually waiting up for Sheltie as we continue on through there. So it must have been an incident of some sorts, which is very, very common in towards the chicane on the first lap, or any lap, to be honest with you. That chicane is quite a dangerous one as we go through here a bit sideways there, and we're going to leave there and fast forward now on the start finish straight. So we head towards turn 1. Max Power is in the Audi R8, which, as you know, is one of my babies there. But even so, I'm not in one right now. Max Power is. And tries around the outside, not going to work here. So we are going to maintain position. There's still some fighting going on up ahead right now. Sparks Theory chose the McLaren 650S. We head towards the fast left-hander side by side here. Very dangerous then. Sparks lets it go then. Blue Racer goes on through into P8. And now we're right behind that McLaren as we go through this right-hander. Now, Sparks Theory does do YouTube. You set them out on YouTube, of course. Just put that in the search bar and Sparks will appear as we head down towards the left-hander. I said it down the inside there. Look at that for a second and a half. We made the apex. So that is us done and dusted. And I do like that livery with a teeth on there, Sparks. As we continue on out of here then, we are now in P9 as we advance here. So you may not have seen that, but I just changed my brake balance from +3 to +5 for the race as Luis goes for a bit of a spin there. Why did I change my brake balance? Well, the tyre wear is a bit extreme, so I started this race and then realised very quickly the front tyre was literally wearing very, very quickly here. So, and you can see that even more so now on that left-hand side there. So I have to really protect them. Putting your brake balance to the rear does protect those front tyres. We continue on out here then. Very brisk. It gets a little bit sideways. Blue Racer then goes up another spot here. And we continue racing on down here. And what is going to happen now? Blue Racer goes defensive. Very brisk. Towards the left-hand side. Hard on the brakes we go then side by side as we go into here. Oh, and everyone survives. That's not too bad, is it? So, good race so far. We raced very brisk at 25 last week, if you remember, at Laguna Seca, and had a fantastic race there as well. So, I'm expecting the same right now, and let's see what happens. I love the livery on that car. I've chosen the plain livery on the Ferrari because that's the only one you can actually choose, but of course you can apply one, and I do need to start applying more liveries after that test I did quite a while ago about oil changes, because that's the only reason why I don't put liveries on at the moment, and you don't actually have to change your oil when the bop is on. So we go for an outside line there on the last corner. Let's get a bit of a run on that very brisk at 25. Obviously we carry more speed, we can catch up to them, we can use the slipstream as well and go for a bit of a slingshot. So where are they going to go? They go more towards the right hand side, so I think, do you know what? Hopefully I get some slipstream on the left hand side. We're going to go hard on the brakes now, side by side with the other Ferrari as we go into here. Brilliant racing so far. Get room on the exits as well. Look at that beautiful stuff. I love that. I love it. This is what racing is all about. And you saw the smile on my face there. I love it when this happens because I don't really care about winning too much. It's nice to win, but the majority of the times on Gran Turismo 7, you're not going to win a race, especially if you're doing just races and not caring about your DR. Anyway, you can see here I'm going for the exact same move again on Very Brisket. However, this time, Very Brisket goes a bit too wide on the exit there. And I instantly know that is a penalty because it's track limits. And there it is. It's applied there. 0.5 seconds. Now, of course, that penalty line is, we just passed it, so we have to wait a lap. So at that time, I just bump draft Brisket down the straight because there's no point attacking them. Now, we're getting into a bit of a situation here. Everybody's absolutely everywhere, so it's costing me time. I have Melassa behind me here in the AMG GT3 car. I do have to keep that in mind as I go through this right-hander right now, that I can't just sit here. I'll potentially have to make some moves. So I go on the inside here. This is a defensive and attacking move at the same time, but we get it stopped in the apex. Beautiful stuff here, and we do go up a spot there from Very Brisket. So as we go into this right-hander, once again, we go down the inside here, just trying to protect the position I'm in right now. As we go through here, Blue Racer there on the outside gets a better run out that corner, and Brisket gives me a little bump draft. I appreciate that, mate. A big thank you. I would press the buttons to say thank you, but because it's a new wheel, I'm not fully used to it yet, and I'd end up pressing the handbrake or doing something stupid. So, yes, big thank you for that. I did want to say thank you, I just couldn't. Now, P13 Black's just got in the pits there as we continue on here now. Look at this, we're 3 wide. We're going to go here, maybe 4 wide. What's going to happen? So I go early on the brakes here. Could see what was happening. Blue Race goes a little bit deep then. We're on the inside with Mario Sonic here, so we are going to go up 1 place at least there. Are we going to get another place is the question. I can't remember what happens here now, so this is remembrance for me as well. We've got 2 cars on the left-hand side here. Side by side round here is very, very... well, yes, I did make it. I could not remember what happened here. Brilliant racing is what I'm going to say there. You can see the smile on my face once again. I love this. When you get given space, when you have a good race, it's the best thing ever in Gran Turismo. It really is. Well played to everybody who's involved in that. We've got 2 AMGs, GT3s there. Who's that? Ugandan and Velasa. Blue Race was in the Lamborghini, so shout out to you. Mario Sonic up ahead, obviously broke away there as well. Now watch this. As we come in the pits, you are going to have to brake a little bit here because I'm not sure about the penalty line. So I'd take a wide line in to cut it nice here. And I go for the move into the pits. Now we'll see if this works because there is a theory that if you go faster into the pits, you should be faster out the pits. So we're side by side technically there with Mario Sonic. So are we going to be ahead is the question. We put the soft tyre on then, and I can't see Mario Sonic. Where is Mario Sonic? There is Mario Sonic. So I've no idea what's going on right now. So we're still inside Mario Sonic as we go through turn 1. A bit of an interesting statement there. But as we exit there, they get a better exit because I didn't drop to first gear, which is a bit plebby of me if I do say so myself. So we're still in the race though, at least. We had a good run into the pits as we go through here. Now we're going to think about the overall strategy there. So we came in at the end of lap 8 as we continue, at the end of lap 9 now. Mario Sonic there's the server lag. We experienced a bit of that this morning once again. And we're going to have a good run here on the Ferrari as they go towards the right. I go towards the left. The AMG behind Velasa, very close as well. Got to keep that in mind as we head towards turn number 1. Now, I actually thought pitting at the end of lap 8 would be absolutely fine. I was thinking lap 7, to be honest with you. However, the tyre wear is a bit more extreme than I realised, and we are going to start to experience that a bit later on. However, at the moment, we're racing side by side, and we are now up into P4 with P13 Black up ahead, who went from the softs to the mediums earlier on, I believe. Maybe? I can't actually remember what's going on now in terms of the strategies. Red Baron actually was the one who did that. Sorry, apologies. As we go through this left-hander then, we're going to continue on out of here. Mario Sonic very close behind then. And we are catching P13 Black quite quickly. So they did go into softs quite early, actually, didn't they? From memory. I don't know. Let's figure out what's going to go on here as we head down towards the chicane. Mario Sonic on the inside line as we go into here. Oh, it gets very tight there, but we all survive. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful racing this. We're sort of leader of the pack right now as we hunt down P13 Black, who is, well, he's going to lose out here because of the slipstream. So we're catching very quickly right now. That helps us with Mario Sonic behind. I go far, far right now to avoid Mario Sonic going down that inside line as we head towards turn number 1. P13 Black has definitely given that away. Velasa coming in very close behind there as well. P13 Black gives plenty of space then to Velasa. And we're up into P3 with Red Baron up ahead. Now, Red Baron, I'm 100% sure went from softs to mediums in this race as we go towards this left-hander. And we just understeer a bit too much there. That's going to cost us a bit of time. Mario Sonic gets very close there. Arguably, the flashing the headlights weirdly put me off, and it doesn't normally put me off as we continue on through here. Velasa getting in on the action once again behind in that AMG. Nice to see multiple cars here being competitive, though. I will say that much. It really is. We've seen Lamborghini, Ferrari. Of course, I'm in the Ferrari. The AMG GT3 looking good as well. It's nice. Pick the car you enjoy. Now, there are some cars that still aren't going to make it, but even so, if most cars are up there, it's good fun. So we head towards turn number 1. Mario Sonic in the Ferrari goes down the inside. We are catching Red Baron here, who is on the medium tyre as we go through here. Just getting enough space on the exits. What a move attempt that was from Mario Sonic as we continue on out of there on lap number 14. But we do maintain P3 for now as we go into this left-hander. However, my front left tyre is starting to pay the price for some of this defending and some of this pushing, that is for sure. Because, of course, I know what happens in this race. I was the one that raced it. You can see it in the camera. So I know what's coming up, and arguably, you should know too. Red Baron there with a penalty, 0.5 second penalty up ahead then. That's going to bring them into this fight as we continue on to the start-finish straight here then. So Red Baron taking that penalty. Mario Sonic goes towards the right-hand side. I'm trying to use Red Baron's slipstream here to maintain this position. Can I do it is the question then. We head towards turn 1. The final lap for the final time here. Hard on the brakes we go then. Do we get it stopped? We do, just as we continue on around this corner. But look at my front left tyre. It's getting lower and lower and lower. Is it going to make it to the end, though? That is the question. Stay tuned for this one, folks, as we head towards the fast left-hander. We're still defending this. We're still in P3 right now as we continue on through. I'm defending for my life right now. It's the final lap. There is no reason not to at this moment in time. As we go through here, though, my front left tyre is starting to struggle. I can't get the car turned at all here right now. As we head in towards the braking zone, we slow it down nicely. Velassa's getting on the inside of Fanatec here. That's my only saving grace right now. Velassa is in this battle. It's a three-way fight, not a two-way fight. We continue on out of there, and we're going to head down towards the chicane right now. Fanatec's still there. I'm going to go very defensive at this moment in time. Nobody's going down the inside line as we go hard on the brakes. Now, as we look to stop the car, my car is refusing to turn right now with that front left tire. Look at it. There's like a sliver of tread left. Velassa goes around the outside of Sonic then to get its P4 right now. Now, any right-hand corner is doomsday for me. I just can't turn, as you see him right there. As we go into left-hand corners, my front right tire is doing absolutely fine, so I can race this absolutely fine. Look at this. Through we go, and we maintain P4 right now. One more corner to go. Can I do this? And we go onto the brakes. Now, we're trying to get the car turned. I just can't. I'm trying to get around. I'm trying to get the power to go. It's just not working at all. All right, Sonic goes through. Max Power goes through in the Audi. And on the left-hand side, the Lamborghini of Lewis goes through as well. So I would argue that pitting lap 9 is the one for mediums. So 9 mediums, 6 soft, maybe even 10 mediums. 5 soft is the way to go. But definitely not 8 mediums and 6 soft. It's definitely not possible. Sorry, 7 soft. I apologize for my maths. You know my maths isn't that good at the best of times. Right, so we come on with P7 there after quite an intense race. I love this race. This race is absolutely fantastic. It really, really, really is. And as such, it's got that brilliant score that you can see down below. So once again, we have another Coach Dave Academy lap brought to you by the Delta lap here as we head towards turn 1 in the Ferrari. You can see my brake balance down the bottom right side, +3. And on the left-hand side, we have the dark grey going into light grey for turn 1. It's just after the start of the grandstand. Now, the start of the grandstand is your brake marker on medium tyres. However, we're on soft right now, so the dark grey to light grey. Brilliant brake marker for turn 1. I want you to drop down to first gear. Turn in quite late here, and in first gear, get instantly on the power. The Ferrari get a little bit unsettled initially, then the rear downforce will plant the car, and you can accelerate out. We're going to head towards the next turn then. I want you to focus on the left-hand side. Notice the different coloured barrier changes there. The dark grey to white, the very final one just before the billboard there. This is your dab the brakes, drop to third gear, and chuck it in marker. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to dab the brakes, drop a gear, third gear, through we go. Let's try and maintain 100 miles an hour is the critical part of this one as we go through here. And look at that, 100 mile an hour, nailed. Now you can use a lot of the exit there. Just be careful. Make sure you're back on before the red and white curbing ends. As we go through this long right-hander, we have these escape roads. The first one is your lift-off marker. Okay, so you're going to lift off through this first part. Then you're going to be on and off the power. You'll officially go fully on the power again at the next escape road. So let's follow that through then. So as we go through here, notice I'm just adjusting the power accordingly. And there's the next escape road. So I want to accelerate literally as I get to that. And I did try a bit earlier there, but I got a bit of understeer, which is why I had to lift off again. For this left-hander, the end of the curb, should I say, on the left-hand side is your brake marker. Always your brake in a straight line. Now, when you want to start to turn in, then start to release the brakes. Remember, tyres can only do 100% of something. So I start to release the brakes as I turn in. I clip the curb. I instantly go on the throttle. The Ferrari will want to rotate a little bit. Let it rotate. It'll be absolutely fine. We're going to continue on out of here then, and we're going to head down towards the chicane here at Fuji. So we head over towards the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have the orange painted barrier and the one, I think that's 100 board. I can't actually fully tell from here. It's a distance marker anyway, and that's what I'm actually using in this week's Daily Race C, the distance board. So as the distance board disappears off the side of my screen, on that right-hand side, I'm going to hit the brakes. I'm going to drop down to first gear. I then release the brakes. I want to use all of the inside, accelerate a little bit, go up to second gear, and instantly bounce the car with the throttle. If you don't balance it, if you instantly go on the power at the exit of the chicane, you're going to spin the car and go flying. On the left-hand side, we've got the grass going into the AstroTurf, slippy green stuff, whatever you want to call it. That is my brake marker for this right-hander. You're going to hit the brakes, not 100%, or if you do 100%, then come off very quickly, and you're going to drop to second gear, okay? You need to drop to second gear and let the car roll a little bit. Then, when you're happy, start to accelerate. Be careful of the slippy stuff on the exit there. Now, this corner, you go out to come back in. So the end of the curb is your brake marker. You're going to trail brake throughout this corner, which means not 100% braking. You're going to drop down to first gear to get the rotation and then go back up to second. Now, try and do it in second. You just get understeer. So we drop to second gear, drop to first gear, we get the rotation, up to second on exit to avoid any power oversteer, and then we continue on out. For this final corner, multiple lines you could take. Arguably, the tighter line is a bit better now in terms of Group 3, just because we have less power in this class now due to the balance of performance change. However, a wide line will still give you a good run off the corner. So choose whichever one you want to do here. You're going to have to drop to first gear, though, to get the car rotated. This is the middle of the road approach. So first gear up to second, we clip the curb, and we bolt out this corner. Be careful of the exit. The light tealy, greeny stuff there is a bit slippy, but this lap is at 137.5, and you can follow that on the leaderboard and check out my Delta laps down below in the description and in the pinned comment as well. So, bloopers. Notice there, I clipped the grass. That was the reason why I span. Very easy to do in this car. If you touch the grass, you do go absolutely flying. Let's have a look at it from Max Power's perspective then. So as I go through here, I was giving him space, a bit too much space. I literally only just clipped it. That forced myself into Max Power, which forced them into Mario Sonic. So Max Power, I will get my words out there, now trying to recover the car by going rallying right now. And do very well, if I do say so myself, because this car is no easy feat whatsoever. Unfortunately, just came on and tapped side there, so Max Power is going to wait up for them. Arguably, I didn't feel I had to wait up for that incident. I think that's fair game, because the incident ended while Max Power was still rallying right there. Right, so what happened to Sparks? Oh, clips the barrier. Yeah, that's very common. And then instantly on the power in second gear, it does force some oversteer in this car just due to the weight shift. The whole of the right rear got loaded there, and that spins the car around. The Italian in daily race beat final lap. Then what happens here? So as we go into this right-hander, oh, trying to go off the cutback. Lovely attempt at a move there. Oh, just a small clash. It's just a racing incident that. And well recovered, actually. Well recovered to you, Mr. Italian driver, or Miss Italian driver. As we head to daily race C then, we're on board Shelty. What happened to Shelty as we go into here? Oh, tiny bit into Spark. Oh, the Constantina effect. That will happen so much this week, so do be careful of it. You're going to see me being cheeky as I go through Shelty there. Sorry, Shelty. As we continue on with the race. And of course, Grove Street was the one who tapped him, which is why we see Grove Street go towards that right-hand side to let Shelty go. Now we jump on board Lewis then. Why did Lewis have a spin in this one? So going through this left-hander, second gear, expected. Oh, rear just overloaded itself, and Lewis goes for a spin there. The Lamborghini is a bit more unstable compared to the Ferrari, but it's not as bad as it used to be in Gran Turismo 7. So we're on board Grove Street then as we go into this right-hander. Look at all this racing action. This is so good. Lap 8, and you get all this action. Fantastic stuff. So continue on out of here, side by side with Two Flower. We head up towards the right-hander then. Still looking good. Look at this side by side. This is so good. I love this race. I don't care if we've had it before. I love this race. Right, in towards the left we go. And, oh, just a bit of understeer. And then coming together there between those two. Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. That is going to be it for me. Now, Fanatec have sent me a new wheel, and that's what I'm using right now. Check out the description for more information on that. GT Amiga is my rig, of course, and Coach Dave Academy are now bringing more to the channel, are sponsoring the laps, so a big thank you to them as well. Do check out their Delta app, sorry. That's going to be it for me, though, folks. Big thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.